Mother. How are you? I wanted to thank you for making our wedding day so special. It meant a lot to Keith and I. We are thrilled that everything went exactly as we had hoped. Everyone had a great time, and we're so relieved.
You're welcome, Jessica.
Your speech at the end was especially touching. Thank you for doing that for us.
I wish my husband were here to do that. Keith's father would have been so proud to give a speech at his son's wedding, but unfortunately he passed away a few years ago.
My parents were touched by your kind words and wanted me to pass along their thanks. Thank you again for everything, Mother.
Jessica, if I may say so, I couldn't help but notice that the wedding was quite simple.
I know, but that was precisely the kind of ceremony we wanted. We like to keep things simple, modest, and, not too flashy. Keith and I prefer to keep things simple and modest without being flashy. We only invited close friends and immediate family to keep the wedding intimate and comfortable. Anything bigger would have made us feel uneasy, and we wouldn't have been able to enjoy it.
Well, I suppose you're right. It was best to avoid being the center of attention in your case. Keeping it simple was a wise choice.
You are absolutely right, Mother. I would be far from comfortable in a situation like that. Honestly, I wouldn't even want to wear a wedding dress if it was up to me. The thought of it made me feel awkward and uneasy.
But you went ahead and wore the wedding gown anyway. What changed your mind?
I decided to wear one because my nanny pleaded with me to wear one. I love her to death and didn't want to let her down. Keith was chuckling when I told him I was only wearing the dress to make my grandma happy. Although I'm not a typical girl who fantasizes about wearing an extravagant wedding gown, I did marry my Prince Charming. I made some changes to the dress design to match my style and feel more at ease. My friends thought the dress's simplicity was a nice change and looked great on me.
Yes, anything fancy won't look good on you. I don't mean to be rude, but a fancy gown would have looked ridiculous on you. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
No offense taken, Mother. I completely agree with you. Seeing my friends and family enjoy our wedding with us was all that mattered to me. I couldn't be happier.
I must admit, I was surprised to learn that Keith is marrying you. Given how handsome he is, I always thought he'd end up with someone who was more attractive.
Yes, I know. He must have inherited his good looks from his mother. I suppose he could have chosen someone far more attractive if he wanted to. I honestly didn't see it coming either, Mother. My friends were happy for me and a bit envious in a positive way. I'm so fortunate.
He had always dated pretty girls. He once dated a girl who was the homecoming queen at his high school. She was a doll, and they looked so perfect together. I wonder where she is now. I'm sure I still have a photo of her with Keith.
Wow, a homecoming queen? She must have been gorgeous. I wonder what he'd been like in high school. He must have been popular with girls, given his good looks and kind nature.
Do you think my son is attracted to you for your excessively positive attitude?
You may be right. He tells me he feels more energetic around me and that I'm uplifting. We're highly compatible and genuinely enjoy each other's company.
I don't think the word compatible is the best choice of word here. Anyway, I'll tell you what. Our family is planning a gathering with relatives next month, and it would be great if you joined us with Keith. Would you be interested?
Oh, that sounds fun. May I ask what the occasion is?
We are celebrating the 100th birthday of the family member who happened to be the older sister of Keith's grandfather.
I had the privilege of meeting his grandfather on our wedding day. He was dashing and a charming gentleman. It was kind of him to come to our wedding.
There are 8 brothers and sisters, and the sister turning 100 is the oldest of the siblings.
What about Keith's grandfather?
He is the youngest of the group, so they have a considerable age gap.
I see. I wonder what it's like to live to 100 years old. I'd love to learn the secret of her longevity. I imagine she must have taken excellent care of her mental and physical health throughout the years.
We are renting out the entire hotel reception area as the venue for her birthday celebration.
Wow, that sounds fantastic. I'm sure the sister will be thrilled to see all her relatives coming together to celebrate her birthday at a venue like that.
This will be an excellent opportunity for you to meet everyone, especially since many relatives could not attend the wedding. It's a perfect opportunity for you to introduce yourself to them.
Thank you, Mother. I like that. Let me talk to Keith about it and see what he thinks. I feel a bit uncertain about attending this close family gathering, though. Is it really okay for me to be there?
No need to worry, Jessica. I will talk to the person who is organizing the event. There is no reason for them to say no. Everyone knows my son recently married. I bet they would love to meet you.
Okay. It's very kind of you to include me in a special family event like this. It makes me feel part of a family, and I'm excited to get to know everyone. Thank you, Mother.
I'm glad to hear you feel that way, Jessica. Don't you worry about a thing. Just leave it up to me. I hope you get to know them really well. I can't wait to introduce you to everyone. It'll be a pleasant surprise. Hi, Jessica. Did you enjoy the party? You seemed a bit nervous at the party.
Good morning, Mother. I was nervous at first, but it turned out to be a great experience. I must admit that I was surprised to find out how good-looking everyone in the family was.
I had the same reaction when I first married Keith's father. I was shocked to see how gorgeous everyone was.
My pulse even went up a notch as I was surrounded by such a good-looking group. I almost felt as though I shouldn't be here.
I know exactly what you mean. Being around my attractive relatives would make you stand out in an interesting way. Don't you agree?
I'm pretty sure everyone was curious about me.
Poor thing. You must have lost your self-confidence. Did you feel isolated and miserable? I wouldn't blame you if you did. It's completely normal to feel discouraged sometimes. It's okay to admit if you're feeling that way. We all have our comfort zones. Did it make you regret marrying Keith?
I must confess that the situation made me feel a bit awkward at first, but I was far from feeling isolated.
Really? Please don't feel like you have to hide your true feelings from me.
No, Mother, I'm not. Everyone was quite friendly and nice to me, and we got along just fine. We were on a first-name basis and had a pleasant conversation throughout. Keith and I went out for drinks with some younger relatives after the party. We had a great time and ended up staying at the bar until dawn. I must confess that Keith and I are having a severe hangover this morning.
Have you already made friends with my relatives? How did that happen so quickly?
Yes, I exchanged numbers with many of them. They also added me to the WhatsApp group of younger relatives. I'm so glad I took your advice and went. Keith was delighted that I met and made friends with his cousins. I can't thank you enough, Mother.
Don't you dare thank me. You got this all wrong.
Excuse me?
What are you doing? You're not supposed to be friends with them.
Huh? I'm confused. Is there something wrong, Mother? Are you all right?
You don't belong in our family. Don't you get it? You're not pretty enough to fit in with a good-looking family like us. I would ask for divorce if I were you. Instead of feeling humiliated, you became friends with my relatives. It's okay to have high self-esteem, but you're embarrassing yourself, Jessica. Do I have to spell it out for you? You are embarrassing Keith, too. He probably doesn't have the heart to say it, but you're making him feel ashamed around his relatives. Don't you see it?
Are you trying to tell me I'm ugly and have no place in your family because I lack physical appearance?
Yes, that's right. I'm glad you're finally coming to terms with the situation. Why Keith had married someone so plain-looking as you is beyond me. I don't know what's gotten into him. I want you out of his life. Tell me, Jessica, how did you do it?
Do what?
How did you manipulate my son into marrying you? Who do you think you are? You're too ugly for Keith. He deserves a pretty girl for his wife. Do you have something on him? You'd better not be blackmailing him.
I am sorry to hear that you feel that way. I assure you that I've not manipulated anyone into marriage. Keith and I love each other and chose to marry based on mutual respect and affection. Regardless of what you think, Keith finds me attractive as a person. Besides, I'm not experienced enough to know how to manipulate men.
I don't believe you. Why on earth would he want to marry you then? I don't understand why my son would choose someone like you. He must have been delusional if he wasn't forced into it. This is horrific. How did you coerce him into marrying you?
I don't appreciate your false accusations, Mother.
There is no way I accept you as my daughter-in-law. I simply do not tolerate this.
I see. You've made yourself loud and clear. Now I understand how you really feel about me. I had a feeling you didn't like me much, given that you kept your distance from me and the sarcastic remarks you made toward me. I'm glad at least it came out in the open.
I almost had a heart attack when I saw you for the first time on the wedding day. I was shocked, to say the least. I was worried about my son's mental well-being, or perhaps he was having trouble with his eyesight.
Keith chose me based on my personality rather than my appearance. He is the kind of person who values one's character over physical looks. I'm very grateful that he's not superficial like you. Mother, I'm not denying that I'm not pretty. I know, but you don't need to keep reminding me. It isn't nice.
If you see that, then why aren't you divorcing him? You are not making sense. You just admitted that you're ugly.
It might be hard for you to believe this, but we're happy together. You can't just force your bias on other people. You need to respect Keith's point of view. Keith's relatives mentioned that he's looking much better than when he was single.
He only appears that way because he just got married and feels elated at the moment. It'll pass. It's only temporary, Jessica. It won't last. Pretty soon he'll realize what a big mistake he's made. Marrying such an ugly girl like you. Poor Keith. If I'd only known about this, I could have stopped it before he went ahead with the marriage. He'll eventually come to his senses. In the meantime, I can only do so much if Keith insists on staying with you. Nonetheless, I will ensure that he's well taken care of. Jessica, I need you to promise me that you will take good care of him. I expect you to provide excellent housework. You must work extra hard to compensate for the lack of appearance.
I'm not very good at housework, to be honest. It's not my strongest skill.
What are you complaining about? Try to be helpful to him. It's the least you can do. It's not fair for Keith to be with someone like you. You must be a good wife and provide him with a comfortable home. That's the least you can do.
Okay, Mother. I'm not good around the house, but I'll try my best.
What do you think you're doing? Did you think you could fool me?
What do you mean, Mother? Is there something wrong?
You have some nerve to talk to me that way. Don't play dumb with me. I heard from Keith's cousins what you're up to. They said you're making Keith cook dinner at night.
This is getting better and better. What have I got myself into?
Have you forgotten what I have told you already? You were supposed to take good care of my son. You wouldn't be his wife if it weren't for my son's charity. You must work hard to provide a comfortable home and make up for him, but instead you make him cook dinner for you. How absurd. Who do you think you are?
We both work, so we share household duties. I can't be doing all the housework. It's too much for me to handle. And Keith is okay with that.
That's your job. You are responsible for the chores around the house. It's unfair for you to have Keith share the housework so that you can get lazy. I feel sorry for him. He deserves to be treated better. I want you out of his life right now. Keith must be tired from work, and cooking dinner is probably the last thing on his mind when he gets home. We all know that the wife is responsible for household chores. If you can't manage, you should become a stay-at-home wife so you have time to do everything.
Sorry to interrupt you, but Keith is the stay-at-home husband. and we'll be in serious trouble if I lose my job. Plus, I have no intention of quitting. I love my job.
His what?
I said he's the one who stays home and takes care of things around the house, and I'm the breadwinner in our household. He's mostly responsible for things around the house, and I take care of the financial obligations. It's working out perfectly.
Are you insane? Why would I believe a lie like that? Keith works in sales at a foreign trading company. He has a great job.
Actually, the stress of being in the sales department caused him to become ill. He was constantly overwhelmed with work and was exhausted both mentally and physically. I'm not sure if you ever noticed, but he didn't have much appetite and was also losing weight. We both knew he needed a break before it got any worse. We talked about it, and he quit his job with my blessings after we tied the knot. He's been taking care of things around the house ever since. He's doing so much better. He's great around the house and enjoys it. I'm glad we made the right choice.
How come nobody told me about it? I'm his mother, for God's sake. Keith should have told me immediately. Why did he keep this secret from me?
He probably didn't want you to know.
Why wouldn't he want me to know?
Honestly, you can be pretty difficult to deal with. You're constantly making assumptions without trying to listen or understand what others have to say. He didn't tell you because he thought you wouldn't understand. He probably thought you'd say something like, "Be a man and handle it." Am I right? Your tendency to see things only from your perspective doesn't help.
Are you calling me a pain?
Yes, sort of. I hate to say it, but I don't think Keith trusts you. Since you never listen to what he has to say, he's given up on trying to make you understand, which is why he didn't want you to know. He is a patient guy, but you wear him out.
That's enough. Don't talk to me like you know my son more than me. I'm his mother. I know him far better than you do. Stop making assumptions about how he feels about me. You're making up lies to create tension and put a wedge between us.
Keith has told me stories about you, but I'm afraid they're not always pleasant.
What are you getting at?
He said you were a stay-at-home mom but lazy around the house and neglected many things. You never worked and liked to indulge in a lavish lifestyle to boost your ego with Dad's money. He said you're arrogant, mean, and lazy, and hated your constant complaining. As an only child, he felt pressure to fulfill your every whim and desire.
My son said that about me.
That's what he told me. I'm sorry to break this to you. I don't think he likes you much.
That's not true. Stop lying. Why are you making up stories like this? Do you think I believe that you are the breadwinner? Give me a break. You are too young and immature to be making good money. This is a joke. I don't tolerate lies.
Mother, I'm telling you the truth. I work in management for a major foreign company. I make enough money for both of us so Keith doesn't have to work.
But that's not a good reason for my son to be a stay-at-home husband.
Keith never liked working within an organization. He always felt suffocated and overwhelmed by his coworkers and demanding hours. He's not the type to excel in such an environment. He was struggling and wanted to get away for some time. He endured as long as possible to make a living, but the stress nearly caused a nervous breakdown. He once felt unable to move while on his way to work.
Oh, no. I had no idea he was going through something like that.
Yes, it was an awful time for him. He was under a lot of stress and was very weak when I first met him. I would listen to his problems at work, and that's how we started spending time together. We became close, and it was natural for us to get married. Since I make enough money and Keith isn't particularly good at work, we've decided that he will stay at home and handle the household chores.
Is that why he married you?
Of course, that's not why he married me, but he likes our lifestyle now. We're both happy, and it worked out the way it did. He is extremely good with his hands and wants to explore opportunities in the craft business. I'd be thrilled to see him turn his passion into a successful business, and I'm ready to support him in any way possible.
can't believe you're in management at a foreign company.
Well, I don't mean to brag, but I excel at work. I enjoy what I do. That's part of why I got to know many of them.
Do you mean my relatives?
I had a chance to talk about what I do at the birthday party, and some relatives found it interesting and started asking me questions.
You are not just ugly, but a liar, too. I refuse to believe all this.
So you're still doubting me and judging me for how I look. You're so twisted in your thinking and refuse to see things beyond your bias. What's important here is that Keith is happy, but I guess you don't see it that way. That is too bad. I tried, but there is no sense in talking to you anymore. I'll talk to Keith about you. I hate being called ugly to my face whenever I speak to you. It makes me uncomfortable and it is disheartening. I don't deserve to be treated this way. Nobody does.
Is there anyone in their right mind around here? Why would Keith side with my homely daughter-in-law and blame his own mother?
I heard everyone gave you a hard time, and rightfully so. Just because you're my mother-in-law, it doesn't give you the right to make disrespectful comments toward me.
You haven't been in our family for very long, and you're already acting like the queen. Tell me, how did you manage to manipulate them? First it was Keith, and now my relatives. I have to hand it to you. You sure are good at deceiving people.
My people skills played a significant role in securing my management position at a major corporation.
I was told to beg for your forgiveness. Why on earth would I do that? I was merely pointing out that you were lucky to marry my son and must make it up to him.
I'm touched by how they stood up for me. Keith was very upset when I told him about what you said. I'm grateful they confronted you on my behalf. Mother, it is unacceptable to judge people based on their appearance and make disrespectful comments.
How come everyone is treating me this way? Have they forgotten how they cherished me when I married my husband? Everyone was delighted that the new addition to the family was as pretty as me.
I'll tell you why. That's because you might be pretty on the outside, but ugly inside. If all you have to offer is just a pretty face, people tend to get bored quickly.
Are you calling me ugly? Me? I've never been called ugly, let alone by an ugly person. You are my daughter-in-law. Don't you have any manners?
Have you ever noticed how people try to avoid ugly things? I may not be attractive, but I believe people appreciate me for my inner qualities, and that's why they want to get to know me. But in your case, Mother, you got yourself into this situation because your physical appearance alone was not enough to compensate for your ill nature. It shows how nasty your inner self really is. Your recent behavior has caused Keith to lose all confidence in you, which was quite embarrassing for him. He had hoped that you'd be happy for him finally. He wanted you to. He doesn't want to keep in touch with you anymore. I'm afraid you pushed too far. Don't expect him to visit you either for any time soon.
That sounds like he wants me out of his life, even though I'm his mother. Is he abandoning his family, especially now that I'm older?
He honestly doesn't want to have anything to do with you. It's a shame his mother is behaving in this manner, considering that the rest of his relatives are friendly and respectful of others. Why can't you be happy for your son? Be supportive of his feelings and prioritize his needs for a change.
Don't you dare talk down to me. I don't want to be looked down on by someone like you.
Do you honestly believe having a pretty face gives you the right to say whatever comes to your mind? You need to be responsible for what you say. You can't go around hurting people with your mean, ignorant remarks about people's physical appearance. It's rude and simply not acceptable.
You're nothing but a righteous, immature brat. Stop giving me a lecture.
Mother, I may be much younger, but I have more experience dealing with people. You should be ashamed of yourself that someone as young as I am is preaching to you like this. I hope that one day your inner beauty will match your outer beauty. As my mother-in-law's relatives stayed away from my mother-in-law, I grew closer to them. She was pretty upset about that and stopped contacting us altogether. She must have thought that if she stopped contacting us, we'd worry and try to reach out to her. But no one wanted to do that. My mother-in-law eventually wrote me a letter asking why no one seemed concerned about her, as she couldn't bear the situation any longer. She was left with no choice but to write a letter since nobody wanted to communicate with her through calls or chats. I saw Keith tear up her letter and threw it away in the trash. It shows just how much he resents her. I wish my mother-in-law would make amends with him so she can be part of his life again, but I must admit it may not happen anytime soon. We moved soon afterwards and stopped receiving her letters. My mother-in-law is no longer in the picture, but Keith and I are still as close as ever and happily living our lives together just as we wanted. Thank you for tuning in. If you enjoyed this channel, kindly click the like button and keep an eye out for more. Your comments are greatly appreciated.